Everybody, welcome back to the Brian Parker Group and Know Before You Owe. Today, we're going to spend a few minutes on talking about fraud. Now, there's a lot of types of fraud we can talk about when it comes to real estate. I'm going to touch on two, and this will be outside of like the loan application process. That's a whole other piece, but we'll get to that another day. So, we're going to talk about two things: wire fraud and then seller fraud. Okay. So, wire fraud. Let's just say you're under contract to buy your home. We've approved your loan. You're ready to go to closing. And your financial institution is going to wire funds from your bank over to the closing agent for the home purchase transaction. Okay. So, what's going to happen is you're going to request a copy of the wire instructions from the attorney. You're going to want to do that individually, one on one with that closing agent. You're going to make sure that closing agent sends that information in a secure email only to you. Do not include me or your loan officer or your real estate agent or your mom and dad or anybody, just you. And then once you get those instructions, those wiring instructions from your closing agent, you're going to pick up the phone and call them and verify those numbers and account numbers and routing numbers and so forth with them over the phone to make sure those are exactly correct. Because there are stories where wire instructions have been manipulated, have been typed in incorrectly or whatnot, and people have wired hundreds of thousands of dollars to the wrong place or to a fraudulent place. And when something like that happens, you have a window of about this big to be able to stop and potentially get those funds back into your bank account. So make sure when you're wiring funds, you confirm it on where they're going with the agency or whatnot that you're sending it to. And then when you're having your institution wire those funds, you're triple checking what those same numbers are they put in to send the wire. Now, another thing that's out there is seller fraud. We haven't seen this really for 15, almost 20 years. It was prevalent back before the housing and bank meltdown in '07 and '08. We called it straw buyers and straw sellers and stuff back then. But now with the technology and tools and AI that's out there, it's really coming up to another level again, where there is somebody that is impersonating a seller that has somebody they're working with that may have AI capabilities. They're going out and reproducing a deed on a property that say it's a property that I may own, but they're saying that they're creating a deed where I sold the property or transferred the property to somebody else, and now they're selling it. Okay. And they're creating fake signatures by finding public record information online about your signature from a prior deed, from a prior deed of trust or whatnot. They're finding notary stamps from prior notaries and all that, and they're recreating that and creating false ownership in somebody that's trying to sell property. So there's a lot of different things that the closing agent will want to go through in verifying proper title of that. Matter of fact, I went to a seminar yesterday. It was actually called Simple. Uh, Seller identity must precede literally everything. And it talks about the different types of fraud, the red flags that they look for when it comes to the seller, property red flags, notary red flags in general, and the things that should be done to verify identity and make sure it's correct. So, buying a home is a great experience. It's how you build, generational wealth through real estate properties and so forth. But make sure that when you're sending money, you're double checking, triple checking, and to make sure your assets are secure. And when you're buying property, make sure your closing agent and everything is gone through in detail to make sure that the person you're buying it from is actually the true and rightful owner of the property. I'm Brian Parker with the Brian Parker Group, navigating your opportunities to wealth. And we look forward to seeing you next time on Know Before You Go. Take care.